A very warm welcome to StudyIQ, my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are in good. Today is 3rd September 2020. Day is Thursday. I would like to start today's discussion with this line from a book called The 5 AM Club by Robin Sharma. The line is, stop managing your time and start managing your focus. I'll give you one example. Let's say if you invest 5 hours after your studies without any focus, do you think you will get any result? The answer is, of course, no. But if you invest just 45 minutes or 1 hour after your studies with full focus, you will get everything out of it. So the key here is not just time, right? You need to add focus with your time, and then only you will get 100% result. Focus is a skill. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it will get. I'm sure many of you are wondering how to enhance or how to increase our focus. There are so many books available on it. There are so many videos available on it, TED Talk, and there are other platforms where you will find so many videos on focus. So go through it, see what is best for you, and start applying those tips to sharpen your focus, because without focus you will not get anything. It doesn't matter if you are a student or a doctor or a professional, in whatever field you are, without focus you will be below average. Dear friends, the StudyIQ team has designed a smart course. This smart course is for Civil Services Examination. It covers your pre as well as mains examination, and to find out more about it, all you have to do is download our mobile application. Till 10th September 2020, EMI offer is also available. On our table, we have 5 important articles. You can download the PDF of today's lecture from my Telegram channel. The first item is Dissidence and Detention. This one is about Dr. Kafil Khan. The reason why he is in news, I'm not sure how many of you are aware about Kafil Khan, but he used to work in this Baba Raghav Das Medical College Hospital in Gorakhpur. Back in 2017, more than 100 toddlers passed away in this particular medical college hospital because they were suffering from encephalitis, and the main reason why they passed away was because there was a severe shortage of oxygen cylinders. And Dr. Kafil Khan, he talked about this shortage, and he was suspended by the government. Then in December 2019, he addressed students of Aligarh Muslim University, and he was arrested on 29th January 2020 for this address to students. He was released. He was granted bail, and then again he was detained on 13th February 2020 under National Security Act. Now, recently, Allahabad High Court has said this thing, that Dr. Kafil Khan has been a victim of state persecution. Allahabad High Court has said that the district magistrate who has applied National Security Act on this doctor has not applied his mind. That means the DM has been partial. He has not acted fair with Dr. Kafil Khan. The High Court has also specifically said that the speech does not disclose any effort to promote hatred or violence, and nowhere does it threaten peace in Aligarh. The thing with freedom of speech is that if I'm not happy with my state government or central government, then I have every right to point out the things that those things that I don't feel are right. Right? This is part of freedom of speech. Of course, I cannot say something that will trigger hatred or violence and that will create cracks in our society. So freedom of speech is limited. But here, Allahabad High Court has said in its verdict, in this case of Dr. Kafil Khan, that he has not said anything. He has not used any words. If you go through the whole speech, and that's what Allahabad High Court is saying. I haven't gone through his speech, but I'm following what Allahabad High Court has said, that the speech does not disclose any effort to promote hatred or violence, and nowhere does it threaten peace in Aligarh. The High Court has also said that the district magistrate has not applied his common sense, and if you go through the speech of Dr. Kafil Khan, any sensible person will figure out that he has not said anything that will promote hatred or violence. So, again, let's go back to this statement of Allahabad High Court that Dr. Kafil Khan has been a victim of state persecution. So it looks like the state has, state is trying to take a revenge, or state is not happy with this person for whatever reason, and state is trying its level best to put Mr. or Dr. Kafil Khan in serious trouble. The process to invoke the NSA, that is National Security Act itself, began only after the bail order. So you see here that a person, he is arrested, then he gets bail from the court, and right after he gets a bail, the government starts the process of invoking National Security Act on this person. So this is, again, this indicates that something fishy is going, something is not right. Right, government is trying to shut this political dissenter, and this is not allowed. This is also illegal. Now, the verdict has, of course, given him relief, but the question is that he has spent 7 months in jail. No one can return those 7 months of his life back to him. And this is not just about Dr. Kafil Khan. In general, if you see in our country, there are so many under trials. If I'm not wrong, 67% around, or 60% plus, 67% people who are behind the bars, who are locked up in jail, they are under trials. So there are high chances that they will be proven not guilty in the court, but their prime years, so many youngsters, right? They are already losing their precious years behind the bars because of this lethargy of this whole criminal justice system. Moving on, dear friends, but before that, I request all of you to share this lecture with other students. Hit the like button if you have learned something from today's discussion, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have already subscribed and if you have already pressed the notification bell, can I request you guys to inform 3 more students about StudyIQ education platform. Second one is about GST. Now, before I jump into this topic, I would like to inform you something about a series called Daily Financial News Analysis. In this series, I discuss economical, business, and financial news on regular basis. We discuss current affairs, regular current affairs, and just like Daily Hindu Analysis, this DFNA talks about. It's a 15-minute video, and it talks about all important current affairs, financial, economical, and business current affairs. So the topic that I'm going to discuss with you that you find in today's the Hindu newspaper, Grim Sovereign Trade, this one is about GST. I have talked about it last Friday. There was an update on Saturday as well about the same topic. There was one update on Monday, and there was one update yesterday as well. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you want to get that cutting edge with the financial, economical, or business news, then I request you guys to follow that series. That will help you a lot. There are so many students, they are benefiting out of that series. Okay, so coming back to this topic, GST almost to serve as an exemplar of cooperative federalism. In our country, we have this federalism, isn't it? A federal structure where you have one central government and then you have so many states. GST Council is a very good example of cooperative federalism. The way GST Council is designed is that you have Union Finance Minister, so you have central government, and then you have all state governments. Generally, they are finance ministers from the states, but it's not necessary that you should be a finance minister or a state has to send a finance minister. You can be any other minister, and you can be part of this GST Council. So far, GST Council has, when I say so far, I mean to say that most of the cases, GST was launched back in 2017, to be precise, 1st July 2017. From 1st July 2017 till now, most of the decisions are taken by consensus. So, when you have any topic, GST Council will discuss on that thing. They will talk about positives and negatives, and then they will reach to a final conclusion. So far they have not used a voting system, or there is an option of vote. Let's say if some states are against a particular thing, and the rest of the states as well as central government is saying that we need to go ahead with that thing, then if there is a doubt about a thing, about opinion, then you have this voting system. And if you get a two-third majority of voting, two-third or two-third, more than two-third votes in favor of that particular opinion, then that will go ahead. So they have this GST Council, it has this system in it as well. So this is the reason so far, or most of the time, they have not used it. If I'm not wrong, they have used it for just one time. But see, there are 41 meetings, so I'm not exactly sure in which meeting. But I think they have used it just for one time, this vote system, if I'm not wrong. And that itself is a good thing. In 3 years, if states and central government, if they have worked out everything by consensus, then that is a good example of cooperative federalism, no doubt. The problem with GST in itself is not bad. It's a very good thing. I'm sure many of you are wondering that why I'm saying this thing, because there are so many issues with GST. The thing is, the idea of GST is good. The problem is with implementation. We find, many times so many items are taken out of high rate, and then they are kept in this low rate slab, and then some of the items are moved to zero, and then they are taken back, and then they are put in 5% slab or 12% slab or 18% slab or 28% slab. So this erratic nature of decision making is a problem. Then we have so many cases of fake GST filing, and this sort of things are also going on. So we cannot say that this is 100% pure, or we cannot say we have achieved 100% implementation. Everything is not going right, but it's not that bad either. Things are not that bad with GST. So there is a room of improvement. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that we need to refine it further. Now, we all know that our economy is going in a very bad situation. The latest data from National Statistical Office said that in the first quarter of this financial year, our GDP growth was, or in fact not growth, but it shrunk by 23.9, that is minus 23.9%, or roughly 24%. So that is very serious. If you compare our economy first quarter or 3 months of our economy with other major economies like UK, it is minus 20. USA is minus 9.5 or something, and China, surprisingly, is in positive. China's growth, or China achieved a 3.2% growth, right? It is in plus, it is in blue. So this is the situation. And then we have the latest report is about Australia as well. Australia is also in red, or in negative zone. Now, states, central government, they are struggling with money because revenue has dropped because of lockdown, less transactions, income affected, companies making huge amount of losses, so revenue collection is down. Now, when this GST was, when GST discussions were going on, I'm talking about pre-2017 era, the central government promised the states that we will compensate you for, if there is any revenue shortfall, then we will, that is, the central government is obliged to pay to the states for a period of 5 years, from 2017 to 2022. If there is any revenue shortfalls, then central government has given a guarantee that it will fill up the gap. Now the central government is saying that we don't have any money in this compensation cess, so we cannot give you any money, and that is not right for the states. And in general as well, if you see that, then we need to find a solution for it. You cannot just raise your hands and say that I don't have any money and I cannot pay you any money. This is not how it works. And we are talking about GST Right, I told you this was the main reason I told you that GST Council or GST system is a very good example of cooperative federalism. But in this tough times, if you say that you don't have any money and if you're not ready to fulfill that guarantee that you have given, then that will create a very bad thing, and that will impact not just GST, but it will impact all future councils in which you will find state as well as central government. In July, the centre paid out the last installment of compensation for the last financial year's money was paid in July 2020. And so far, if we talk about this financial year, which started on 1st April 2020, till now, government has paid nothing. Government has not paid anything to the states. And states, they are crying out loud for money because they are struggling with this coronavirus cases, and states as well as central government has paid, is spending huge amount of money for controlling this. They have injected huge amount of money for medical sector or this medical field because to fight this COVID-19. Now, a few days ago, during this 41st, it was 41st, I think, 41st GST Council meeting, central government gave two options to state governments. The first is that you can borrow yourself 97,000 crore rupees, and if you borrow this 97,000 crore rupees, you can distribute it, and then whatever the interest is, whatever the principal is, it will be paid from future cess collections. Or the second option is that you can borrow entire 2.35 lakh crore shortfall, but you have to provide for interest payments yourself. Right? We will give this principal amount, or the central government will give principal amount, but interest, you have to bear it. Now, there are so many states, particularly opposition-ruled states, they have said that they are not happy with this option at all. What they are demanding is that central government should borrow the whole amount, and then central government should take a loan, and then central government should divide this money with various different states, rather than asking states to borrow the money. Finance Ministry or Union Finance Ministry or central government has said that if we borrow money, then it will push up interest rates and it will dent India's fiscal parameters. For now, the only certainty is that the compensation cess levied on demerit goods will stay beyond 2022. That's what the latest thing is in the air, like this compensation cess that was supposed to end on 2022, it will be extended for next 5 years maybe. We don't know yet, but things are not good, to be honest. One error rectified, many to go. This one is about Hindu Succession Act, and a few days ago as well we have talked about this thing, so I'm going to be very brief here. I'm going to be to the point, and it's not that difficult for you to understand this thing. So in our country, the parliament came out with this Hindu Succession Act of 1956. And now in 1956 Act, equal right of succession was given to daughter, but only after the demise of father or mother. So if you have a family, let's say you have father, then you have mother, and this couple, they have, let's say, two kids. One is son and one is daughter. So till 2005, how it used to work was that if father and mother are not there, then the daughter will get share in that particular property. It will be divided 50-50 between son and daughter. But if father or mother, or if both, if they create a will and if they give everything to their son, then daughter cannot claim anything out of it. So it was going on from 1956 till 2005. In 2005, Parliament amended the Hindu Succession Act of 1956 to bring daughters of co-parceners on par with sons in joint Hindu family. But things were not right even then. In 2005, or this 2005 amendment said that that if a daughter wants part in the property, then the father should be alive. If the father is not there, then you will not get anything. The daughter will not get anything or any share in this particular property. This was amended by Supreme Court. A case was filed, and in this Prakash versus Phulavati 2015 judgment, the Supreme Court created a condition for a daughter to avail her right of being co-parsoner only if her father was alive on the date of this amendment. If father is alive during this 2005 amendment, then the daughter will get a share. If not, then daughter will get nothing. So latest decision by Supreme Court, this Vinita Sharma versus Rakesh Sharma 2020 case, has set aside this 2015 judgment, and now things are all right, because Supreme Court has said that co-parsoner's daughter would become a co-parsoner in her own right by birth. So as soon as a baby girl, as soon as you have one baby girl in your family, from that day itself, the girl is part of that family property, right? So everything is gone now. This 1956 Act, whatever loopholes were there, then in 2005 amendments, whatever loopholes were there, in 2015 judgment, Supreme Court judgment, there were some, basically in 2020's judgment, Supreme Court has rectified 2015 judgments bad things, or it was not holistic in favor of girls. But now things are good for girls. So as soon as a baby girl borns in a family, right, she is part of that family property, and you have to divide it equally. So Supreme Court has also said that there is nothing prospective or retrospective. As soon as if a girl child is part of your family, then a daughter will get equal share in that property. So things are sorted now. A missed opportunity. Now, if this is your first lecture for Hindu analysis, if the first time you are watching this lecture, then I would request you guys to watch yesterday's lecture. Yesterday we talked about a topic, it's about data, this non-personal data and its usage and things. And I want you guys to just watch that portion. There was one article called Treating Data as Commons. So go through that 5-10 minutes discussion, and this will help you with today's discussion. Now, non-personal data are data that do not identify an individual. We can use this non-personal data for traffic management, for public policy, even for artificial intelligence ecosystem. And if you want to create some more services, then if you have data, then you can do it. So non-personal data can be used and should be used for social welfare as well as for overall society. Now a committee was formed by central government, and this committee has delivered its report. Now this article is saying that the committee or this report is a missed opportunity, because the committee has talked about private data. Like if private parties, if they have collected people's data, non-personal data, then it should be available to everyone. But what about the data that is collected by the government? Because at the end of the day, government is using taxpayers' money to do everything. So government should share this data with private players and with society in general. Now, why data should be open to citizens? There are 5 points. The first is that the state should be transparent about information that it has, and we have Right to Information Act as well in our country. Second, if taxpayer money has funded, as I just told you, if government is doing everything using taxpayers' money, so if you have data, non-personal data, then you need to share it with the society. Third, by permitting the reuse of government data sets, we avoid the need for duplication. So if a private player or a company is trying to, let's say if a mobile app company, if it wants to create something for traffic management, then they have to conduct this whole survey. But if government provides them all the data that it has, then this company can use it, and it will be used for betterment of society, and that company will make some sort of money, and there will be no harm with personal or private data. Government data sets curated according to publicly verified standards can lead to increased confidence in data quality and increased usage, and free flow of information can have beneficial effects on society in general. One of the 9 pillars of the Digital India policy is information for all. We have RTI, as I just told you, Right to Information. On top, One of the pillar of this digital India policy is it talks about information for all. So we have 2 points in favor of government releasing or sharing this data with everyone. Then we have this National Data Sharing and Accessibility Policy, NDSAP 2012. It requires all non-sensitive information held by public authorities to be made publicly accessible in machine-readable formats subject to conditions. The government has also set up Open Government Data Platform that will provide access to data sets held by ministries and other agencies of the government. This is about central government, and there are so many state governments as well. They have created this Open Data Platform. So we have laws, we have policies, right? We have this NDSAP, we have Open Government Data Platforms. So this is the time like government should act on it. The problem is government has data, but the problem is inability to enforce guidelines appropriately, or you can say lack of implementation and lack of clarity. These are the two main issues why government is not sharing this data, or government is not able to share all the data. The Gopal Krishnan committee could have evaluated what is going wrong with existing policies and practice pertaining to government data and deliberate on how this can be addressed. Instead, the report largely focuses on the dangers posed by data collection by private sector entities. So this is the missed opportunity. That's why the title of this article is a missed opportunity, that this Gopal Krishnan committee has missed this thing. It should have talked about existing policies and practices pertaining to government data. This should means since data governance is a relatively new concept, we have room for correction, and that's what we should do. The government should do, and this committee should look into it again, and it should rectify whatever loopholes that are mentioned in this article. Moving on to next item, victory in a long battle for equal opportunities. Again, this is not a new topic, but this article is interesting because this article is written by a lady. Her name is Jasmine Kaur, and she is a retired wing commander of Indian Air Force. So this year, she says that will be a landmark in the history of Indian military, because back in 17th February 2020, the Supreme Court of India delivered a historic judgment which allows women to serve as permanently commissioned officers in 10 combatant support arms and services of Indian Army. So what used to happen in our country before 1992, women were allowed only in medical branches. Then in 1992, women were allowed in non-medical branches for 5 years, and then it was revised and it was increased to 14 years. 14 years SSC, Short Service Commission, for both men and women for 14 years. This was allowed in 1992. The problem is that till now the problem was basically after the 17th February 2020 judgment, things are now okay. But before that, what used to happen is that a man will finish his 14 years of SSC, and then he will be promoted to, or he will be given a permanent commission, or he will be permanently commissioned. But with a lady, her career will get over. She will be done with it, and after 14 years there is no promotion, or you will not get PC. And this is bad for our services. It is not equal. Clearly, because in today's world, in today's technological or technology-led world, right, a gun, for example, is not designed for a man only. A gun can be used by any human being, right? If you are a man, woman, or a transgender, you can use a gun if you are trained. I'm just giving you a simple example. Same thing applies with a car or a truck or a fighter jet. In armed forces, both men and women opt for short service commission. However, upon completion of 14 years of service, male officers could get permanent commission. Women officers who had put in the same number of years of services were denied this privilege. But this 27-year-old struggle is over now. With the grant of PC, women officers will now be entitled to serving till the age of retirement. And this will mitigate the shortage of officers. We have so many vacancies pending. So allowing women to move on, and when I say move on, I mean to say if she's allowed to, if she's granted this PC, then she can fill up that vacancies. Despite forming a relatively minuscule 3.29% of total strength of Indian Army, and in Indian Air Force we have 13% women, they have worked shoulder to shoulder with male officers in operational field areas. They have proved their mettle. I have one question for you. We have Army, Navy, and Air Force, isn't it? Out of these three, which was the first service that granted PC to SSC women officer? Stick your answer in the comment section. As I told you about this modern warfare, and this modern warfare is supported by ability or by technology. So it's your ability, not your gender, that will decide whether you can handle a commandant post. And Israeli Defense Force has achieved widespread integration of women. UK, USA, they are not allowing it, but Israeli defense forces, they are allowing it. So they are like lighthouse for other countries. And let's hope that we'll see more equality, and we'll see a good ratio of women taking part in all those difficult top jobs. Then we are in news zones. Dear friends, I want you guys to download the PDF and go through this news items by yourself. This one is important one, right? And we have this one as well is important. And I have one more question for you. India ranks in top of 50 countries for first time in Global Innovation Index. So the question is, can you tell me the name of that organization that launches or that delivers this Global Innovation Index? Stick your answer in the comment section. That's everything from my side. I will see you with daily financial news analysis later on today. Till then, enjoy your studies. God bless you all. Jai Hind.